Recent things happening with PlayStation and, well, over the years with other companies got me into a bit of a thinking mood. On one hand, you have console players receiving a fresh plate of shit and piss, having to pretend that it's chocolate and lemonade because they already burned through a kidney for a console and like 2 games. On the other hand, you have the ever-smug PC gamers, such as myself, who are becoming a bit too complacent in their faith in Gaben. Gaming companies from all sides, loved or hated, are pushing for a digital future, and I think that it is, to an extent, inevitable. However, like with everything, I think there is hope. Even though we've been subjected to years of increasing monetization, even in single-player games, the ever-present cash grabs disguised as our childhood, and the never-ending tide of woke slop that doesn't even speak to the people that it's supposed to represent, I believe that we will get out of this, and all it takes is a simple mindset shift. But first, let's remember what we are dealing with. Sony shuts down the physical disc production, or rather, it says it will be shut down by 2028. Now, the funniest shit happened because immediately after there is a server issue that locked people out of their games. And if there is one thing that would make me, a staunch atheist, believe in divine power, it's this shit. Then they patented a weird touch controller, which sounds good on paper, but if you are like me and hate touchscreens, every cell in your body tells you not to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Imagine your Dorito-stained greasy-ass fingers on this. Nintendo is basically going back on their cartridge shit, since not all boxed games will come with a cartridge, just with some sort of weird thing that tells you that, yeah, you own the game, so what the fuck is the purpose of the box then? Xbox seems to be the only company doing something with a semblance of sense, and we'll see if it pays off. However, they are the equivalent of a long-time alcoholic trying to get their life together. Now, cock and ball gamers seem to be increasingly tired of the dropping quality of the yearly slop, or is it even rarer now? I can't really tell anymore. And as I said in my last video, physical media is not really the solution to any of this, however we would like it to be. It can help, but there are too many factors rendering it functionally useless in today's landscape. You can play your old games still, as long as the disc works, but the more modern the game becomes, the more useless that flat little motherfucker is. Now we have the ever-present memory shortage. RAM prices are higher than a white church boy on oregano, and AMD is releasing a 4GB graphics card, which on the surface looks grim, I'm not gonna lie. But let's get one thing straight. You can play over 70% of games on Steam on hardware that is comparable to the PS4, if you're not chasing the best graphical fidelity. Now, if you get something like a 2060 Super, which is a 2019 GPU, you can run most of the AAA games. And I don't even think that there are games that are out of reach for that GPU yet. So that means that there is a high chance that you can play any worthwhile game on PC, and on top of that, you can emulate up to a PS3 without many issues. Now, if you have an old PS4 lying around, you probably have access to a lot of second-hand physical games. And even if your PS4 stops working, which is probably not something that's gonna happen soon, emulation is getting better and better. Just get a disc reader, the Chinese are happy to provide, and even the PS5 emulation is slowly getting there if your PC is strong enough, and curiously it still revolves around the Demon's Souls. GOG hosts a plethora of amazing games that you own after buying, and with their focus on classics, your barrier to entry is even lower than Steam. Just choose one of the many Unkslop games and have fun. Most free-to-play, competitive or friendslop games are designed to work on an aging laptop that is 2 cum stains away from not closing all the way. Basically what I'm trying to say is, you don't need AAA, and you don't need Sony. They want you to think that you shouldn't miss the new shiny thing, but unless we're talking GTA 6, I think most people are good. And even with GTA 6, you can still wait for the PC release. Which leads me to the fact that, as I said before, you can play majority of PC games on hardware that is slightly older than the PS5. And this will probably include GTA 6, since it has to work on the base PS5 model. You probably don't have to upgrade just yet. Hell, Nvidia revived the 3050 in a clumsy attempt to remind us that they were once a gaming-focused brand. So when GTA 6 launches, we're good, and the PS5 will have 2 games. Riveting. Even given its high status, it might not even bring in the bug. We'll see. Most of the gaming companies are now feeling the effects of chasing the mythical infinite growth. It turns out that no matter how much money you pump into a product, it won't make it magically a good product. All of their consumer unfriendly bullshit is in service of that goal. No matter the reigning ideology or any corporate statements meant to make you think of the corporation as your friend, the end goal is always money. And if they are constantly pushing themselves to go bigger, to inflate budgets and to generally oversell and underdeliver, they should suffer the consequences and we should be dancing on their graves. The average consumer is not a smart person, but even a fly will understand that something is not right after hitting the window enough times. Now, the beauty of free market is the fact that you can simply choose not to spend your money. They know that, and this is why they are so opposed to digital ownership and physical media. This is not only to maximize profit, this is also to make the market less free, so they can milk you for what you're worth. Now, I think that you can start great things with small steps. So I would like you to take a break. Not from gaming, but from modern or AAA gaming. If you have an older console, dust it off and pop in something that you haven't played for a while. If you only own a PS5, maybe try mobile, or check some of the recently popular emulator devices from AliExpress. If you own a PC, even a potato one, go to GOG and try to find something you deem interesting. Or maybe you'll find something that you played as a kid and forgot. Try to reduce your interaction with modern gaming, or at least Sony, for a moment and see what happens. I know people won't abandon their expensive white towers, and it would be unreasonable to ask for it, especially with GTA 6 on the horizon. What I want people to do, however, is to take a step back and see that there are always alternatives. Additionally, I want people to remember that gaming didn't used to be like this, and it doesn't have to be like this. I've been recently enjoying Need for Speed Underground 2 and a bit of The Elder Scrolls Arena. While the latter has been a bit difficult to get into, Underground 2 brought back so many memories since I played it the last time around 17 years ago. And honestly, it's been a while since I played a game with a shit-eating grin on my face. The gameplay is just like it used to back in the day. It is installed on my PC and does not care for online connection. There is no DLC, I don't have to compile shaders before every launch, and the only updates I get are the SMS messages about new rims in the shop after I win the race. There are also a lot of fantastic indie games out there, and if you want to go that route, great. But I think that just like with reading or music, playing the classics once in a while is a good practice. What's more, I think that it is important to not only have access to them as they were, but to use them as a reference point, especially when modern publishers would like to censor them and make you forget how gaming used to be. They don't want you to remember the times when their games were made by talented people, launched complete, didn't need constant updates, and were yours to keep. If they could, they would charge you by the hour or maybe even a minute. That's why remembering the classics is important, but there is also another reason. It's remembering joy. There is a lot of justified pessimism around modern gaming, and it's good to recharge your passion every once in a while. Remember how things are supposed to be. Maybe feel something for a change. This is why I love what GOG is doing. They not only give you DRM-free installers, they are also committed to preserving the classic games. And if you want to know how out of touch publishers are, GOG had to convince Capcom that there are people that would like to access Resident Evil games as they were all those years ago, not the shiny remakes. Imagine someone saying this about a movie like Total Recall from the 90s. Well, they tried that and it didn't go well. In an ideal world, gaming wouldn't have come to this. GOG model would be standard, and while we've had it good on PC, I think that if you live in your high castle and let console players eat shit long enough, some shitty practices are going to become normalized. A lot of games require online connectivity these days to basically function, and publishers can remove things from Steam at will. The only reason we've had it good so long is the fact that Valve is being run by people that actually know how to make money long term, through consumer satisfaction. This is why, even though we license our games, we feel safe, and we are complacent. The things console players are dealing with are things we might as well be dealing with in the future if shit hits the fan. This is why initiatives like Stop Killing Games and the fight for digital ownership are important. But at the same time, it is important to look at your past and see that things used to be better. And if they used to be better, they can be better. Even when every major company would like you to forget that. I'm usually a boring realist, but I sincerely believe that shit doesn't get done if people, well, don't give a shit. This is why I want you to try and engage with parts of gaming that are furthest removed from whatever modern companies are pushing. To recharge, remember, and get your standards back up. If this inspires you to play something that you normally wouldn't, or haven't played in a long time, or maybe you've just remembered a fond gaming memory from better days, feel free to share in the comments. Drop a like while you're at it, maybe share the video with a fella. All in all, try to support things that are actually respecting you. Consume meaningfully, that would be it. Cheers.